All right. Hello, everyone. What a day. Let me sum it up as this: NVIDIA, blah, blah, blah. NVIDIA, blah, blah, blah. NVIDIA, blah, blah, blah. Yes, it's all about NVIDIA. And it makes sense, man. How crazy. This company doubled their revenue. Um, it's pretty amazing. But you know what? I don't do really fundamentals. That's not really my thing. I'm a trader. My background is in trading. So we don't really think about earnings or this or that. We look at a chart and we think about supply and demand. I don't care what the earnings are. I'll give you a great example. All right. NVIDIA back in November, right back here, posted these great earnings. They were blowout earnings. They were almost as good as today's were, relatively speaking. And guess what happened? The stock didn't go up, it actually went down. I'm not looking at the earnings. I'm looking at, wow, these guys reported earnings. The stock's not moving up. That must mean there's a good chance for a reversal because the buyers are done. Everyone who wanted to buy bought it, and there's no one left to push the price higher. So now I'm looking at NVIDIA as a trader, not as a long-term investor. I'm not saying I don't know where this is going to be. I know AI is the big thing, blah, blah, blah. But you know what? Actually, that just reminds me. I should show you guys this telecom chart, which is going to blow your mind. But here's NVIDIA ripping higher. A lot of the companies, other companies, they're not really breaking out yet. A lot of them are on the cusp. So here's what I want you to watch. If you're NVIDIA and you're wondering whether it's going to go higher, I think you can get some pretty serious clues in other parts of the market. For example, here's AMD, Advanced Micro. Ripped higher? Yeah. But unlike NVIDIA, it stalled at resistance. What's another one? Broadcom. Let's see what that did today. Okay, yeah, it might be breaking out a little bit. Something to watch there. All right. A breakout. Resistance is a large group of sellers. There's a bunch of people that wanted to sell around. We'll just call this 1290. All right. And if we break out, that's trader talk for we got above it and we closed above it. Unfortunately, you're going to have to wait a couple of days and have a little bit of patience, but that's part of being successful. If we trade above it, what does that tell us about supply and demand? Well, resistance is a large group of sellers. If the price goes above it, we can kind of assume that the traders and investors who created that resistance with their sell orders are out of the market. So when you pull supply out of a market, if the buyers come in, they're going to have hardly anyone to buy from, and they're going to have to bid these premiums, and that could push the price up. But this is like horseshoes and hand grenades. Trading is not precise. You have to accept the fact that you're never going to be perfect. And the only thing that matters is, does your equity in your account go up? Period. I know so many traders that get down on themselves because they didn't get the right price, or they said it was going to go to 50 and it only went to 40, blah, blah, blah. That's not what this is. That's not what this is. Successful trading is not about being perfect. It's about you might find this counterintuitive. Successful trading is not, your job is not a trader. Okay. That's not your job. You know what your job is? Your job is to develop a system or a strategy that works, that is a good low risk strategy that you're comfortable with. That's your job. And then once you have that done, your job is to stick with it, which might sound easy now, but on paper, or when I'm just blabbing away here, it's easy. If you got real money in the market, your emotions get involved and so forth and so on. But just think about that as you're thinking about going into the market tomorrow. Your job is not to make money. Your job is to develop a strategy or a model or a technique that makes money, and then stick to it. All right. If you have any questions, just contact me. But trading is not as complicated as people make it. I just want to point out something here, which I think is pretty interesting. All right, let me just look at this, because I came up in the internet bubble, and it was so similar to now. And I know the future is blah, 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 AI, blah, blah, blah. Well, guess what? Back then, when I was coming up in the late 90s, that's what we heard about telecom. Telecom has changed the world. No one's going to argue that. But I want to show you the telecom stocks. I'm sorry, I keep in V. It's why. All right. So this is the iShares telecom ETF, right? Now, I'm going to go back to a long time ago. I first came up in late 90s. I got hired by a guy named Mario Gabelli, very famous money manager, brilliant guy, could be like the smartest guy I ever met. I was fortunate that he hired me. So this is Gabelli and Company. So this is where I got my start. All right. So I've been doing this for a long time, longer than I care to remember. All right. So anyway, so that's Mario, brilliant, brilliant man. Um, I'm just thinking going back to then. That's when I got out of business school. That's when things were going nuts. It was the internet bubble. People were saying telecom is going to change the world, just like now they're saying AI is going to change the world. Did it change the world? Yes. Did it mean the valuation of the stocks were worthwhile? No. This is the telecom ETF. All right. Peak of the internet bubble got to 60. Look at it where it is now, 22. It's never come back. The exuberance was so great and it got pushed to such extremes back then that it's never come back. Now, is the same thing going to happen to the AI stocks? I don't know, but history has a way of repeating itself. So please make sure you check back on my YouTube page. Um, we're on YouTube. We're on uh, all kinds of things. Substack. We're starting a technical analysis class next month. So that's it, everyone. Hope you're making some money. And if not, hopefully you can come back and I could help you figure out what's wrong and hopefully change it so you can make money. All right, everyone. I'll see you all tomorrow.